number 2 Ohio State is a 3.5-point favorite at number 3 Oregon. I mean, this one is such a tough game to pick. But Emory, we're going to start with you. I have a feeling where this is going. Let's hear it.
Tough to pick for who? This was easy. This is Ohio State. They have the better team. Now, listen, full disclosure, preseason, I thought Oregon would be the Big Ten winner, and that still could happen. But, man, watching Ohio State and how dominant they've been on both sides of the ball, along the line of scrimmage, with their skill positions and how solid they've gotten from a solid play they've gotten from Will Howard, and watching Oregon struggle in all of their games for a little bit against Oregon State. But for the most part, all of their games, I just don't see how they can keep up with Ohio State. So I'm going to lay these points comfortably. I feel like this should be a double-digit point spread for Ohio State because that's how good and consistent they've been all season long.
Yeah, I'm going to be on Ohio State as well. I will pay to find out here. Like Emory, I think like a lot of the world, I had a lot of optimism around Oregon to start the season. Have not been impressed. I know it takes us a little while with new quarterback in the system. But for me, Ohio State has got those superior athletes still. You know, it's not like a massive mismatch, but it is an edge in almost every single department here. But where I think the difference is going to be made, EC, is going to be the Ohio State run game. I don't think Oregon can stop the 2 running backs and Will Howard. And I'd say and Will Howard, we saw it a little bit in the last game. You're going to see it a lot more going forward. The designed runs that'll be opened up for Will Howard when they get into meaningful football games at this point of the schedule, that is where he is very, very underrated. He's a big enough body. He will protect it when he runs, but adding in that threat plus these 2 running backs here, that is going to open up that big play to Smith over the top. And I think that's all she wrote. I like Ohio State here, -3.5.
UNITY, UNITY, 1, 2, 3, OSU -3.5. Okay, so Mike, the shocker, has hit this like perfectly because what Ohio State has done is taken a page right out of Michigan 2023. Ohio State's been playing a preseason that lasts until October 12th. Ohio State has just been doing nothing. The quarterback designed runs slowly but surely increasing to the point where I think Chip Kelly really only started to show it so that now he can have the counter built off of what he just put on tape. We haven't seen anything. It's been a spring game playbook offensively and defensively. As I've said time and time again, the silver bullets are back. They are just absolutely outstanding. And while that Oregon offensive line has been coming along and the ground game I think has too, I just think they're going to have their hands full in the trenches. And back to the Ohio State run game, Oregon State's defense let Ashton Jeanty run wild. And while Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson, we're not putting them in the same Heisman conversation as Ashton Jeanty, in terms of raw talent, I think that they could have a similar level of success. So this is an incredible moment. This is going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. Oregon fans, I'm so excited for you to lose by more than 4 points. Yeah, Ohio State -3.5.
Chip, you did this whole unity thing last week, and look what happened. You all had Tennessee, or most of you had Tennessee, and then y'all had Michigan, and I was on the opposite side. It's not going to happen often, but I'm going with Oregon this week, +3.5. Ohio State's won 45 straight games against conference opponents other than Michigan. Oregon has won 18 straight games against conference opponents other than Washington. So something has to give here. AP top 5 teams are 2-0 straight up as a home underdog in the last 5 years. Not a great trend, but we saw that with Alabama a few weeks ago against Georgia. Ohio State 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 as a favorite against AP top 5 teams. Oregon in their last 11 against top 10 opponents, 9-2 straight up and against the spread. And finally, Oregon has 28 straight wins when scoring first. I believe that Ohio State is the best team in the country. I believe that Ohio State will win the national championship. I also believe that no team will go undefeated this season. This is the one loss for the Buckeyes. Oregon 27, Ohio State 24.